My fellow Americans, this is Liberation Day.
U.S. stocks are tumbling.
Tariffs don't cause inflation, they cause success.
The markets have once again opened with major losses this morning.
U.S. President Donald Trump has launched a tariff war against the global economy.
I always say tariffs is the most beautiful word to me in the dictionary.
His reason? The U.S. is being treated unfairly, especially by China.
We lost with China over the Biden years trillions of dollars on trade.
But for many economists, this isn't just about trade. It's a throwback to one of the darkest chapters in U.S. history.
The last time trade war on this scale has happened was in 1930s. Exactly in 1930, it was Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act, and it led to a global recession worldwide.
The Smoot-Hawley tariff greatly deepened the Depression and prevented economic recovery.
In 1930, President Herbert Hoover signed the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act. Named after Congressman Reed Smoot and Willis Hawley, it was a campaign promise meant to protect U.S. farmers. The backstory is that during World War I, U.S. farmers ramped up production to feed Europe. They took out loans and bought land, tractors, and equipment. But when the war ended and Europe recovered, they were left with debt, surplus produce, and falling prices. Even though the boom from the Roaring '20s boosted the U.S. economy, farmers struggled. Hoover promised them protection tariffs to keep out foreign goods in order to boost domestic prices. But by the time it passed, the bill had ballooned from a farmer-friendly policy to a monster law covering over 20,000 imported goods. Some tariffs climbed as high as 60%. Over 1,000 economists begged Hoover to veto it. Even Henry Ford called it economic stupidity. Not really. The bill passed just months after the 1929 stock market crash as the Great Depression was setting in. Smoot-Hawley didn't fix the problem, it made it worse.
Smoot-Hawley, and particularly the trade retaliation against Smoot-Hawley, helped deepen the Great Depression.
Over 25 countries retaliated. International trade collapsed. U.S. GDP fell by nearly 46% between 1929 and 1933. Exports nosedived from $5.24 billion in 1929 to just $1.61 billion in 1932. Economists estimate millions of jobs were lost due to trade collapse alone, especially in export-heavy industries like agriculture, machinery, and manufacturing. And the farmers? The very people it was supposed to help. U.S. farm exports fell by over 50%. Countries like Canada and France boycotted American products. Many farmers sank further into debt and thousands lost their land. Trump's tariffs on the entire world caused markets to tank, but countries hit back, pushing the U.S. president to issue a hasty 90-day freeze on tariffs for all countries except China. But for many Americans, especially small businesses, the damage has already been done.
For me and many other small businesses, this is not temporary pain, this is sudden death.
This is the second time Trump has implemented tariffs. In 2018, he imposed tariffs on steel and aluminum to protect American industries and create jobs. Initially, the move allowed U.S. steel manufacturers to create around 1,000 new jobs, but things went downhill quickly. Higher input costs and foreign retaliation led to a net loss of between 175,000 and 300,000 jobs across other industries. Tariffs may drive patriotic feelings for some Americans, but history shows that they often backfire. Hoover lost re-election to Franklin D. Roosevelt, who campaigned on lowering tariffs. Smoot and Hawley lost their seats too. And the U.S. economy, it didn't fully recover until World War II, when, once again, Europe's chaos turned the U.S. into the world's factory. Maybe Trump can take notes from former U.S. President Ronald Reagan.
You see, at first, when someone says, let's impose tariffs on foreign imports, it looks like they're doing the patriotic thing by protecting American products and jobs. And sometimes for a short while it works, but only for a short time.